Audio Jungle.
Turkish media outlets have published CCTV footage which they say shows evidence of a plot linked to missing Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi. It shows purported Saudi intelligence officers entering and leaving Turkey via Istanbul airport. Jamal Khashoggi, a critic of the Saudi monarchy, entered the Saudi consulate in Istanbul on 2 October and has not been seen since. Turkish authorities say Mr. Khashoggi was killed. Saudi Arabia denies this. Broadcast by Turkey's TRT World Channel and apparently garnered from security cameras. The footage shows vehicles driving up to the consulate, including black vans thought to be central to inquiries. Groups of Saudi men are seen entering Turkey via Istanbul airport, checking in at hotels and later leaving the country. Turkish investigators are looking into 2 Saudi Gulfstream jets that landed at the airport on 2 October. The video shows aircraft waiting on the tarmac. Jamal Khashoggi was visiting the consulate to finalize his divorce so he could marry his Turkish fiancée, Hada Cengiz. He is seen on the video entering the consulate. His fiancée waits outside. Turkey's Sabah newspaper reports that it has identified 15 members of an intelligence team it says was involved in the Saudis' disappearance. Police are reported to be examining 150 security cameras as part of their investigation. Some local media have also been reporting that Mr. Khashoggi may have been abducted rather than killed. Turkey says it will conduct a search of the Istanbul consulate, while Saudi Arabia's foreign ministry said the country was open to cooperation and a search of the building could go ahead. Ankara is demanding that Saudi Arabia prove he left, while not providing definitive evidence to support the claim he was killed inside. A critic of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, Mr. Khashoggi was living in self-imposed exile in the US and writing opinion pieces for The Washington Post before his disappearance. A former editor of the Al Wait newspaper and a short-lived Saudi TV news channel, he was for years seen as close to the Saudi royal family. He served as an advisor to senior Saudi officials. But after several of his friends were arrested, his column was cancelled by the Al Hayat newspaper, and he was allegedly warned to stop tweeting. Mr. Khashoggi left Saudi Arabia for the US. The UK's Foreign Secretary told Saudi Arabia that Britain expects urgent answers over the disappearance of Mr. Khashoggi, it emerged on Tuesday. In a phone call to Saudi Foreign Minister Adel Al-Jubair, Jeremy Hunt warned that friendships depend on shared values. Earlier on Tuesday, U.S. President Donald Trump said he had not yet spoken to Saudi officials about the journalist's disappearance, but he would at some point. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo called on Saudi Arabia to support a thorough investigation of his disappearance and to be transparent about the results. UN experts have demanded a prompt, independent and international investigation into his disappearance. Last week, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed told Bloomberg News that his government was very keen to know what happened to him and that Mr. Khashoggi had left after a few minutes or 1 hour. Crown Prince Mohammed's brother and the Saudi ambassador to the US, Prince Khaled bin Salman Al Saud, has insisted all the reports about his disappearance or death are completely false and baseless. Hattis Cengiz has appealed to the U.S. for help in an emotional article in the Washington Post. I implore President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump to help shed light on Jamal's disappearance, she wrote. We were in the middle of making wedding plans, life plans, when he vanished, she said. Jamal is a valuable person, an exemplary thinker and a courageous man who has been fighting for his principles.